Hello! I'm going to be doing just a small in-between session that we had. We've had a couple of sessions after my last vid. The only problem is I have been a little busy to try and make one of these videos, so I'd say let's just get straight into this. This is going to be a session in between the two sessions that we had before, the circus mission and the cat mission. We find our heroes one less, like a Jesper short, so it's just Isabella and Sapphire in this one. And they wake up inside of a room that seems to be some sort of box, with a goblin over the loudspeaker basically telling them, hey, you got volunteered to do this! Yay! Then they see several different things while they're looking inside of the room. They find a chandelier up above a cylinder in the middle of the room with grooves that seem to form some sort of pattern. And a switch. Sapphire chooses to fiddle with the switch, flicking it up, down, and then up again. Turning the lights on for a second while it goes down, and seemingly doing something else while it goes up. They also see a thing in the corner that seems to be changing when they flip on the lights. As well as a hole in one of the walls right by the changing thing, and two mini cages with like little figurines of a tiger and a boar inside of them. As they're looking at all of these things, Isabella chooses to go and interact with the shifting object and finds out that it's an illusion. She goes through the illusion, finds another lever that basically keeps the lights on so that the switch doesn't get flipped. Doesn't have to be flipped down in order to have the lights on for the other switch. Sapphire then switches the lights up, making it so that they can unscrew what seems to be the chandelier. The chandelier comes off, stops right at the edge where it could break something because there's a little chain. But Isabella finds a way. She basically shrinks herself as an ability and flies through the hole that was created through that. Isabella basically sees that there are two cages on the outside of this weird box thing. As Sapphire finds a light bulb, unscrews it, goes over to the hole in the wall and screws that in, and it basically lights the room up again. Then Sapphire sees the grooves on the cylinder, follows them, and finds out that there is another switch that seems to open the doors. Meanwhile, Isabella, finding two cages outside that seem similar to the ones inside, with a tiger and a boar, except they seem to be swapped in some way. So Isabella starts shouting at Sapphire to try and switch things with the boar and the tiger. Sapphire switches tries to lift up the tiger cage, and this basically opens the tiger's cage. And Isabella, trying to get the tiger back into the cage, summons 8 boar to lure the tiger back into said cage. Nothing seems to happen when they switch the small figures in their like small cages. But they figure, why not open the other cage too? This basically causes the tiger to eat the boar, and eventually they got the tiger into the boar's cage. Sapphire then puts the boar figure into the cage of the actual, like, real tiger. And it seems that they pass the, like, full, they pass that part of the test. Isabella summons a chest then pops open, or rather pops out of the ground, and Isabella tries to open it, and immediately gets sprayed by some sort of lotion that smells awful. 4 panels on the floor then open, and 4 orcs seem to be standing on top of it. The orcs leave Isabella alone because she seemed to be like sprayed with orc smell. But Sapphire makes them uncomfortable, and they start to leave as she basically, like, guilt trips them, makes them feel bad about themselves. And the orcs fully just go back into the ground, like get onto their little panels and then start going back into the ground. Then we have the last room. The last room seems to be some sort of minesweeper level. Which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of messed up a lot with the minesweeper stuff. Isabella tries to find a way out of the minesweeper by flying over it because she hates math, but it does not work because the minesweeper level essentially recognizes when someone's flying and immediately tries to launch them into the ceiling. And so it is up to Sapphire in order to figure out all of the squares. She methodically looks over all of them and tries to figure out each one of them. And only has minimal issue actually doing it. And eventually she is able to get to the end with Isabella's help. And they make it, and they get paid. And the enhancement of power that they had, that they didn't earn until after a certain mission, gets removed, essentially. And that's the end of that session.